Good afternoon, everyone. This is TJ Muehleman, founder and CEO of Standard Co., here with another edition of Data in the Wild, where we talk about, you guessed it, data. What am I going to do with data? Where do I get it? Why is it important? What problems does it solve? And at the end of last year, we introduced a new thing that we're talking about a lot this year, which is going to be data experience. So you've probably heard about customer experience, which is the journey somebody goes through with an organization from the moment they first hear about them to when they talk to a sales rep, deal with customer service, sign on to the platform, so on and so forth. And user experience, which is what does it feel like to use a platform? What are the buttons I push? How does it work? What does it feel like? Well, data experience, we think, is an important addition to this, which is what are the data problems I'm trying to solve? What are the questions I'm asking? Where do I get my data? How do I prepare the data for utility? And then how do I ultimately visualize or utilize that data? And so you're going to be hearing us talk a lot about data experience in 2022. And so last night I had a funny interaction on Twitter, which kind of led to what we're talking about today. And it is this idea that everything I know about data experience, I learned from the Collect Underpants South Park episode. Let me explain. So yesterday, somebody mentioned that to be a good data scientist in 2022, you also need to be a good data engineer. And I was like, preach, preach, preach. Too many people overlook the importance of data engineering in the use of data science. That is, gathering the data, preparing the data, making it available to data science platforms. And so right as I was typing that tweet out, literally I had a custom call with a prospect who came to me and said, I've got my data and I've got my analysis tool of choice. But that bridge between the two, the cleaning of the data, the detection of outliers, getting rid of duplicates, making the data usable. She's like, we don't know what the hell to do. And I'm like, well, you call the right people. We know exactly what to do. And that's what we do for all of our customers. And so I tweeted this out. And my good friend Linnea Geis, who's really smart and cool, and I've known her for a long time, responded with, this sounds like the Collect Underpants episode of South Park. And she went on to say that it really talks about sort of corporate takeovers. But it is an important question to ask. Where are we in the grand scheme of things? Are we in the Collect Underpants phase, or are we beyond that? And right now you're probably shaking your head saying, what the hell are you talking about? Let me explain. So this is from the episode. This is screen capture. And what happens is the South Park boys go and visit some elves in a cave, which sounds like a South Park episode. I didn't need to say no more. And the elves describe their domination strategy, or their corporate takeover strategy, which is collect underwear, profit. And it's sort of a making fun of how people tend to simplify the complexity that goes into day-to-day activities in the business world, whether it's corporate takeover, which is way more complex than anything I've ever done, or managing data, which is what I do every single day for the largest organizations in the world. And frequently people come to me and say, TJ, I want to collect data, underwear. I need to do something. I don't know what. And then I want to make use of that. And so when I saw this screen, I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what we do. Instead of collecting underwear, obviously, we help people collect data. This question mark in phase 2, we'll come back to in a moment. And then phase 3 is we build cool stuff with it. And then maybe we help them make more profit. Or in the global health world, we help them save more lives, right? We help them figure out where to send the medicine. We help them figure out how to get better data to understand where disease is happening in real time. And so it's this phase 2 that people always overlook, right? This is the making of the sausage, right? This is the determining what to do with the data. How do I present the data in a way, or get the data prepared in a way that makes it useful to data scientists? And this is exactly what we do, right? We spend a lot of time in our platform. In fact, we're rolling out a whole bunch of new features in Q1 of 2022 that address this phase 2 of when data gets collected, making a copy of it. When data gets collected, automatically turning it into and joining it with other data sets, automatically detecting outliers, automatically detecting duplicates. A lot of the things that you sort of take for granted that are fundamental in making you get to phase 3, which is let's make some more money, or let's save some more lives, or whatever. You got to do phase 2, and that's what we do. So it all kind of leads to this last bit, which is our data experience kind of framework. Which is, what are you trying to accomplish, right? Before you even start collecting underwear, Why are you collecting underwear? What kind of underwear do you want? Uh, or data. What kind of data do you need? This whole video is crazy, by the way. What do you need to answer those questions? So identify, now that you've decided, okay, here are the questions I'm going to ask. Here's the kind of underwear I'm going to collect. Well, what do you do next, right? And then you go actually start collecting the data or the underwear. And then you decide, what are you going to do with it? And how are you going to get it to a place where you can actually see profit, where you can actually see utility from the data underwear that you just got done collecting. So my whole point with data experience is that you can't simply just start collecting data. You can't just decide you're going to visualize it. You have to answer some fundamental questions before. You have to then determine how you're going to make that data useful. And only then can you actually paint a picture with that data. So hopefully you found the collect underpants metaphor useful and not offensive. But, South Park, it is what it is. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and reach out if you have any questions.